Hello, Krunoslav. Let's just wait for your audio to be on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
One moment. Here we are.
Welcome.
Hi.
Yep, welcome. Welcome on the call. Today on the call, like I was checking your source code that you have sent to me. We can go through that. Actually, okay, I will tell you like soon, what I see, but I would like to hear from your side, like kind of like your presentation of what you have
Okay.
done, and also we will also discuss the way on how to move forward, because as I mentioned to you last time, that 6 months period has already kind of
Yes. Yes.
is done. So
Okay. Quickly,
Mhm.
can you see my screen?
Yeah. Okay, so probably it's your work thing. Okay.
Okay.
Right now. Mhm.
Great. So first of all, the logic. So basically the standard structure. So first desired working area, which database user wants to work, then select the desired method, okay, the desired action against the selected one. And then in case we are using the insert record functionality, then we are complying with the following logic. So we will check if mass insert, so this field is populated. If it is not, if one is true, then we are going to use it, else we are going to go to a single insert, okay? And let me just see. And yeah, we are executing, the logic will capture the last part of the file name, because as specified in the in request, the file name must contain the database name. So this is how I'm doing it. Okay, so at the end, the logic is whenever you are trying to insert the record, you have two possibilities. One is to use this select option, not select option, this group of fields to update it manually, or if the file path is actually updated, then we are executing the mass insertion logic.
Okay.
That's clear, or did I get myself clear, or any questions?
Okay, so in this case, no questions. If you can get back to second slide, maybe one suggestion from the user point of view regarding usability or kind of user interface. If you are using insert, or if user, let's say myself, I click on insert, it may not be intuitive that okay, like I can choose only between one insert, one single insert, or mass insert. Okay, like what would happen if I process, or if I put there into cars, I put there the content, the data, and also I provide the file. Okay, so from my point of view, like I wouldn't be sure what the program is going to do. Okay, maybe it's going to
No,
do both or
you
so.
will be instructed, because the program has logic and working instructions. So you as a user can decide, do you want to insert one row, or you want to insert basically do the mass insertion. That's it.
Okay, if I would fill in both, also cars field and also file path,
then it will work only with mass insert. It will not take into account what you
okay,
put in cars.
will I
So
be announced as a user that only mass upload was processed?
currently, no, but in second iteration, once I provide you additional effort estimation and you pay on my bill, I will do the
No, I don't want
basically
you to
the
do. Yeah, I don't want you to do this. I just want to show you that there is like it's not intuitive. Okay, so
okay,
you don't
okay.
know, like you as a user, if you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
these both
I
things.
got you. I
Okay,
got you.
so if you will be
It
doing
can be
something like this.
simply done. It can be simply done. Then I can put a checking. So in case mass insert is not initial, and then just check if something is populated within those cars field, then I should just erase a kind of information warning, clear them, and then just user is aware that this is how the program will work. Yeah,
Either this
it's
way,
doable.
or I see like still kind of I see the lack of intuitiveness of this selection screen. Like maybe what I would do is put the checkbox, something like that. Like if you have insert, then you can check the checkbox. Okay, I instead of one line insert, I want to do mass upload. Okay, so then you suddenly see.
Yeah, it makes sense. But on the other hand, it may bring additional. I mean, user can be confused with too much radio buttons. So we must make sure that, yeah, there is always a compromises. Maybe what you are proposing is okay, but at the end, I would do it this way and then speak with my customer and see what he prefer. I would for sure. Why I was have a little bit of a joke, but I mentioned that I'm always providing a kind of user instructions in which it is clearly described how the program is working. So from the functional perspective and from the technical perspective, program is ready. But then I would ask customers, so do you have any specific requirements, or let's say how you want to have, I'm calling it fine tuning of your program? Do you want to put additional radio button, or you want some kind of information message? And then in the second iteration, during the customer can work with this version. It is technically completed, but just I'm calling it a kind of enhancement to be more user friendly. And basically user friendly means to a specific customer. So if I'm deploying this program to multiple customers, the original version will always be the same, and only the subversions would include what should be what I mentioned, fine tuning for a specific user.
Yeah, sure. And this is a great approach, and that's basically how it should work.
Yeah.
So kind of like when we were communicating about that, like that's basically what I would see to make it kind of like intuitive or user friendly. Also, already from just seeing the selection screen, like you will be clear to know what this program is doing. Like kind of such kind of questions like what will happen if these two things are filled in, and so on. Okay. Anyhow, like you don't have to do these things. I just wanted to show you like what I would maybe do in order to make it intuitive then.
Of course.
All right, but this is fine. Like from my side, this is fine. Let me ask you, because regarding specification, and also we were doing some chat communication between us. Basically, or here's the question: what is the difference between the project implementation of module 6 and this one?
Actually, for me, implementation in project 6 was more challenging than this one. And honestly,
Why?
I can tell you, because at the implementation for project 6, I was still struggling with some basic stuff, so some basic functionalities understanding. And now when I'm in module 7, I kind of let's say consume those gaps that I had previously, or this is at least my thought about it. I think I consume it, so it was much more easier to work because I'm gaining more knowledge, more experience. So that's the reason. And the only change, the change is basically. I don't see too much changes.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I
And
see as well.
actually, the project 7 was quite good to me because introducing the dynamic programming basically lighten some of my challenges in a real project where I was taking a look at the objects, how the developers are doing it. So I had a quite of an understanding of what is actually happening. So now it's more clearer. I must say, I'm not completely. I'm not completely able to understand the complex codes that I'm looking that have object-oriented approach there, but at least now I have the idea, and I can even start to debug, to understand those things. So it helped me really a lot.
Okay. Another question: what have you used, like in this project? What dynamic programming approach have you took in your source code
Okay,
for
so
this
only
project?
one. Let me open it. Only one, and this is when I use a try catch in the execute file open. So if you remember, I did not, later on I find some bug here in my approach. So I had to use try catch, and basically here I used the lx open file error variable, and what I did with it. So basically I was using a type reference to the class that was basically raised a dump error. So this is the
Did
only part where when I used some let's say new topics from the chapter 7.
Okay. Did we do specifically, did I talk about class-based exceptions and try catch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In that, yeah, as
okay.
well. Initially, I thought it would be harder because in case you did not specify that CSV file must contain a database name. Let me just quickly show you what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So it's quite easy now because I just need to split, and then I will get the from this last part of the file name, I will get the database name. In case that was not specified, so you said you put it like it just must be a CSV file, and in CSV file the fields must be equal to database table fields. Then I think it would require a dynamic programming, because then I need to let's say import the CSV file. Then I need to identify the names in the CSV file fields. Let me show you here what I'm talking. So for example, if this would not be called DDIC car, if this would be called, for example, cars from my store at date, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But the prerequisite is that the first field corresponds to a database table. Then I would have to go here. I will have to take a look at the names of the fields, okay, at least of the key fields. I would have to store it, what I imported. Then I would have to go and create a local structure that will capture all my database tables, not structure, but a local table. So I would have all 4 tables with the fields, and then do the comparison. So what do I have in the CSV file as the names, and to which database it compares. And based on that decision, I can choose what to update. This would be more difficult task. I think it is achievable. It's not, I don't see any functional problem. Maybe a more of programming, but it should not be really hard. Did you get my point?
I got your point, and basically what you are describing to me right now, that's basically what the specification
No.
about project number 7 was
No.
about.
No. Sorry, but that's not true. I will show you. Because I started to do it that way initially before I read it completely, because that was my preferred way to do it. So then I read it in more details, and then I find, okay, but then it's easy. We need to have already defined name. So where it is? One moment. Let's go to 7. module 7. And let's go to project specification. You see, table name. So it must have the name of the table inside of the CSV file. So if you want to, at least this is my understanding, if you want to work, so that's it, table name. So this is the table name.csv. So you set, you specify this tag to contain a table name.
Yeah. Can you go please up a little bit, like up there? So BNB likes your program which uploads car data into database table with using only one report. They want you to create general program which uploads any data from CSV into any database table. So goal, create a program which dynamically recognizes CSV structure and imports data into database table.
Until here, it was understandable to me that CSV, that I must go into the structure of CSV and compare it against the database table, and this is the way how to define which database. But then requirements said it differently. So the requirements basically disregard the previous two statements.
Yeah. Okay. So I see where the confusion was coming from, because in the end, the goal is to create a program which uploads any data into any database table.
Okay, it is doable. It is doable. So I can show you just one very important thing. So when you're seeing now my screen, I actually have two programs. One is called selection screen, which is cleared. So that's a clear one for sharing to you, that has where I deleted all of my tries, all of my additional comments, all of my errors that I want to remain. And here you're going to see some other things that I did not basically delete. So for example, if you go to models here, you will see that delete is here present here, if you, because I want to do it that way during the testing. So you will see that here I have some classes on which I'm calling in order to get the content of what I'm doing. So what I just want to show you how it will be done. I will just execute the mass insert car. I will decomment those two calls to a methods, and then I can discuss how my approach would be. Is that okay?
But okay, so not sure, because when we were doing the chat communication, I was also mentioning in the chat that what if I try to insert data into table like ZLR DDIC car. Okay, so in my system, such database table exists, but in your it does not. Okay, because you don't have my prefix. And if I would copy and paste your code to my SAP system, it shouldn't throw any syntax error, because the code should be dynamic enough so that it's able to insert data into any database table.
Exactly. So let me just show you what would be the outcome here, or at least this is my understanding. But this is very strange. When I'm in SE80, then enter function, shift function is not working. This is some kind of local things to be done. Okay.
Enter shift.
Yeah.
What are you trying to achieve?
I'm trying to decomment that one.
It's like, okay, so it's control less than or bigger than?
No. My keyboard is not functioning in SE80, but in SE38 it is functioning. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here in execute file open, and I'm going to put a breakpoint here. Okay. So now if I go to insert record, and if I choose, okay, and under assumption, Under assumption that the names would be like they are, what needs to be done is where is the pop-up window?
In the end. It was in the end.
Ah, yeah. I miss it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let me put it this way. Now execute. No, wrong position. Sorry, my mistake. Let me just delete that one. Let me go. Why it is not deleted? Delete external breakpoint, and let me just put a breakpoint here. Now let's execute it. Okay. Did I do something wrong again? So I need to go. Yeah, now it's better.
You want to go to execute file open because it's going to be only right now when you when you click on search help.
Okay, so let's choose any of it. Again.
So you have created a breakpoint on that event. Is this what you want?
No, this is not what I want. This is the problem. I want to create it on where I want to create it. Just one moment, sorry.
Right, I'm not sure like what we are trying to do.
We are trying to discuss what should be approach in case the naming will not matches the name of the database table, correct? Or I'm
The
heading
thing is,
in a
I think we don't understand the each other right now. I'm still kind of like in the scope of the specification. It was to have the program that is able to insert data into any database table in SAP system. By any, I mean like not only tables that are from your ZKT, from your ZKT prefix. Like you can even insert data to DD0 to L hypothetically, okay? So your program should be dynamic enough that it from the CSV file it gets the name of the database table, and based on the database table name, it should in the runtime it should create structures, internal tables, and all these things that are of that final type based on that CSV
okay,
file.
I understand now.
So probably that's where the confusion was coming from.
Okay, but at the end, the logic should be like I described. So what we need to do, we need to, when we import the CSV, we need to identify the fields in the CSV, and then we need to go into DD0 to L and identify the field names of all of the database tables, and then do the comparison. To find this CSV is matching to exactly which database table.
Yeah. So if you exactly. Like then when you find out the database table name, you can even go to select DD0 to L to check if such kind of database table really exists. Okay, so that if the name of that CSV file is correct, you can even write in the beginning.
I think in DD0 to L we have as well feasibility to extract the database field names.
Field names
I think,
are in DD0 3L
or 3L. Okay, whatever. Yeah, then but
but as you can see, that's like if like that's what I meant. Like if I would copy and paste your code to my SAP system,
then it will work.
Suddenly I wouldn't have any syntax errors because there wouldn't be any ZKT underscore anything in there. That's what I meant by this. So like Yeah, and I
I
see
get
that
that.
you are pretty loaded in these days. Yeah, maybe when we
Okay,
are in communication.
I can try to update that. Uh, let's see during a weekend.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
then it should.
yeah, that's going to be a new program. So I would suggest you to do that in a new program, because that program would suddenly be a program which you can use on your projects potentially. If you will need to do some
Yeah,
mass upload to any
yeah.
database table, you can use your program that is going to kind of like
Mm-hmm,
utility program that is going to
mm-hmm.
help you to do these things by yourself. Okay.
Actually, I see a lot of good things in that. Yeah, and this now lighten my thinking. Yeah, I really can do it in any project because yeah, okay, sure, I will do it. Yeah, and it makes sense to do it
Yeah.
as a new program, and then
Yeah, because
whenever
suddenly
it
you
is
will
needed,
really
it can.
use the concepts that you have learned
Mhm.
in that module.
In
Because
case needed to update the existing program, then I can just create a subroutine out of the existing program and modify it a little bit to work.
you
Or
can, but in order to like, if you would like to keep this program as your utility on any other projects, then you
Mhm,
wouldn't be able to just copy and paste that source code to whatever testing system you have, or
mhm,
whatever development system or sandbox system, because it's going to be dependent on ZKT things.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
that would
Okay,
be helpful just to have it just as a standalone program, because suddenly you can use it anywhere
okay.
and just copy and paste your source code to whatever system.
Mhm. Yeah, I will do it. No, it's not a question of my time. So the fact that I'm currently a little bit having a less time due to my regular work should not affect what I actually must do. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to find any excuses, but I just like mentioned previously, I estimated I would need more time that regularly needs in order to complete this academy.
Yeah.
So, okay, I will create that program database because this will most likely will help me to get used to those dynamic programming approaches. And yeah, I should do it. I will create.
Maybe a question: how much time did it take you to implement this program, or this implementation that you have sent to me, the last one?
One day.
1 day, like Monday, 8 hours?
Yeah, one
Okay.
man day, something like 8 hours. Yeah, because I needed to take a look. I needed to explore. I needed to come back to see your explanations to see how you did it. Then I needed to go through documentation, through ABAP forums, a little bit of exploration, not to quickly jump and start to do something. I must have an idea what is the possible approaches, how to do it. I mean, preparation work as well.
Yeah. And what exactly did you do for research? That try
Uh,
catch,
uh, for
if you
a
remember, like,
research, let me take a look at the code and let me try to
because from my point of
see.
view, when I was scanning through your code, it was more like adding few features like decision logic based on the database table name.
It was try
And
catch block.
yeah, and in the end it was like this very similar approach as it was before, as
Exactly,
in a previous project.
exactly. Try catch block was the one that yeah, exactly that one. Try catch. I was trying to yeah, that is the part that I searched a little bit more. And again, whatever I was the approach that was already here, I kind of enhanced my knowledge on that. You know, working it all over again give you a certain level of comfortability with it. So
yeah, because I don't remember that. Okay, so I don't remember that I was explaining that deeply the try catch, because it's more like this is object oriented thing. So definitely we
but it is good explained in your one of the modules. I mean, the lecture inside of that module. It
Okay,
is
then
quite good explained.
okay, you know, like
Or maybe I'm looking really a lot of codes that are having try and catch. So for me, it's something that I maybe intentionally want to deep dive into it.
yeah.
That
Okay,
can also be the
then it's
case.
good. Then it's good. Like because I remember like this year I was recording this object oriented training, and even like I don't even remember some of the things that I was doing this year. So that's why I wanted to
Yeah,
ask.
of course.
But I'm just taking a look at this approach. If there is easier, I see easier way on implementing this the same, because basically the scope of this is to get the table name, database table name from CSV file. Is that correct?
Yes.
You don't have to go. Okay.
Let me just go in SC38 and let me put it that way. If you want to jump in, maybe to take a control. Now we are in
I
the
can.
right program.
If you can navigate me to that part of the code where you are getting the database table name.
Okay. In the execute file, open.
Okay, so and then I will ask for the remote access. Okay. Oops. Okay.
Approved.
Okay. Cancel. Okay, so execute file open. Execute file open is what? It's file open dialog. You are getting the path.
Okay. Yes, and then I'm splitting it.
You're splitting it to LT
Yes.
path name split. Okay, and you are getting how many lines? Get total number of lines. Okay, so
Exactly.
you know which one is the last one.
Always, it should always be the
Yeah.
last one. So just
Yeah.
consider the last
Yeah.
one.
Okay, so either you can do it like this, or let me, if I just quickly show you like what you can use read table statement where you are getting that path thing into CV DB table name, DB name, and you just take a specific line from the index. Okay, so you know. Okay.
Index then LV
Yeah.
total
So
split
suddenly,
rows.
and you don't even have to check this SY subers, because like you know that that many of lines are there. Okay, so you are sure. So in the end,
But
like
it will
I'm not sure.
cause, it must be try catch, because with this approach, it will create a dump error
And
in
why?
case you let's try, because now the LV total split rows will not be identified in case you when the pop-up screen opens and you click X, then it will continue with the program logic and will try to identify LV total split rows, and this does not exist, and it will create a dump error.
All right,
mean,
I see
yeah.
then.
But nevertheless, it can work. Just needed to be put inside the try catch block.
Okay, so that's
Nothing more.
the scenario. Okay, I
Yeah,
see. I
yeah.
see. Okay, like if you would do it like this, then you would just return SY subers not equal 0, and that would be like you would not have to then deal with try catch and so on. Okay, but that's kind of like that's on how you can rewrite this and make it more straightforward then. Okay, so
Okay,
you can then avoid.
let's leave it that way so I can update it later. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like I just wanted to show you that that approach. Okay, so that was some time that took you to implement this. That was the major part of your research on how to make this part work, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then it's clear to me, because when I've seen your code, like I wasn't sure like where the confusion was coming from. So that's why I was asking these questions in the beginning, and I wanted to see kind of like you do the presentation so that I understand like what was that. Because when we were also in the chat communication, then I thought that okay, I thought we are on the same line, but okay, right now I know.
Okay, we understand each other now, why it is done like that. And actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a separate program that will execute exactly what the actually requirement is. But
Yeah. And you can
again,
even think about yourself, like, okay, that program can be really useful for you
yeah, of course, of
in
course.
these things.
No,
So how you can also include the things that you can already
Mhm.
start using on your own project. So you can also kind of
No, it's
make
not.
the
It's
delivery.
not the thing that I'm trying to avoid it, because if I do it, I will gain additional level of knowledge. So
Yeah.
it's not the case. I was just trying to follow the requirements, nothing more.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my
Nevertheless,
case,
we
is not to
understand.
only give you some work, which
Mhm.
definitely you cannot, I cannot pay you for this, because
No, it was
like
a joke. Sorry, it was
yeah,
a joke.
I know, but that's my point as well. Like to point you in some direction so that you can make use of these things.
Mhm.
That's why I would see that this program would definitely be helpful for you as a consultant, and it's going to take some time because suddenly you will use these concepts from that module. Yeah.
Let me just update you on this part where I mentioned pay you. So not to have confusion, it was a joke, and basically the background is when we started those mentoring calls, you told me that you as well want to see the functional approach and how we are dealing it. And basically, the main functional approach is that you cannot. I mean, always the customer is the customer's requirement is the last one, but you cannot allow the customer to dictate any a single steps. So there is a certain border on which you must say to customer, okay, you cannot have it. You cannot have everything. So you must be aware that some consequences will happen in case you want something to be additional. So it is just a kind of functional approach
Yeah.
to the project.
Which I like because this should also be in a real life. Right now we are experiencing the same, but we are reconstruction workers as well. And the things that we have agreed on, they say that we suddenly did not agree on. So kind of like
Exactly.
I still have to search for our communication or kind of
Yeah, I
such
know
kind of
what you're talking
yeah.
about, and I'm always taking care about that. And actually, whenever I mean, I'm not doing the programs, but I'm doing the functional design, functional analysis, and proposals based on which developers will work. And in case I make a mistake, then developer will spend 2 days. I don't know, 3 days of development, and total agreed amount is 4 days. And in case some additional requirement will come, I will not have more days for a developer. That's the reason why I'm always sending a communication in a kind of a questionnaire form. So whenever I see the possibility that user later on can try something additionally what was not agreed, or try to do some such kind of things. In the questionnaire, I'm asking his comments, and basically this is a kind of signed approval that his requests are understood for both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, and always, if needed, for your fine tuning, we can do it, but this is not a part of initial communication. And that will, for example, like I told you, I will do it, but it will cost you 3 more man hours, and it will be delivered to you. So some specific customer requirements. That's it. And that was my
Perfect.
aim here,
Perfect. This is how it's supposed to be, to have clear communication right in the beginning. So basically something that I was also talking about in the module 4, like how I was approaching these projects to cover yourself or really make sure that you know what you are going to deliver and your customer really knows what's going to be delivered. So it's, if such kind of requirements are going to come, you have something to prove that, okay, but here was the deal, that was the agreement. So really well,
Yep.
really well done, like perfect. All right. So regarding this, do you have any questions regarding this? First of all, module or training content. Was there something that was not clear to you?
No. I just think actually I will just add one thing. So during last week, I had one productive issue, a really great productive issue that was involving several external systems, so communication with external systems. And honestly, I was able to go to debug to identify every and each single piece of the code and identify the message. You know, when it is external systems, it is really sometimes hard to do the debugging, and it was not now complex to me. So no additional questions, just need to a little bit work more on that dynamic part, because as of now I was just playing around it. So I will do it with this program. Apart from that, no additional questions. Really, I think I'm having yeah, let's say more understanding in total. When I take a look back, what we was doing in the module 4, module 5, I was a little bit confused, and yeah, I was just trying to do something. Now it's more convenient to me, you know. No questions, actually.
Kudos to you then. Like usually this module usually takes even developers. This is the most abstract module with so many things that kind of like you kind of just it's not that easy to grasp for many people.
Okay, but I got the basics, so it doesn't mean that maybe I will not run into some issues that I cannot solve by myself. But then again, this is the exploration part, and when you need to go to take a quick look on the several codes, how somebody approached to which problem, that will give you an idea how you can what you can take from this program into your problem, and try to achieve appropriate solution out of it.
Perfect.
That's it. But it is important for me that I understand the basics.
Yeah, great.
Otherwise, I would not be able to go and see the other codes. So, you know, when you go into the codes of the others, then you must know at least the basics. Otherwise, you're just reading and don't understand everything. And having the possibility to extract what you need is already a good thing, because then you know what you're doing. Although you cannot write it by yourself in total.
Yeah. Definitely. Like why I'm saying that is because really like that's kind of like that's something unusual, which is kind of like also giving you some kind of really like kudos to you, that you can be proud of yourself, because as I said, not even many developers are kind of clear to this topic. So yeah, we will also see when you will be doing this implementation. Definitely, there will some questions arise when you need to use these things. But when you are already able to use this knowledge on your in the analysis or debugging and so on, that's what basically was the scope in the end for you.
That was the aim. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about proceeding forward.
Yeah. So the way on how it works, like when we are having a person who is extending the mentoring, we are having it like this. Like the 1 month extension is €1,000. That's basically how this works. I'm not sure how it is with you. Like you have like it was paid by your company, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Not sure, like if you are going to then maybe approach them, or I don't know. That's basically how we do that.
Okay, so my question here would be how much modules we still need to cover.
Yeah. I have checked it yesterday before the call, so that I know like what I would propose regarding the extension. So right now you are finishing module 7, right? That's the dynamic programming, and I was taking a look. Like there are two modules. One is with the dialogue programming, ALVs and such kind of things that we will.
This is module 8, yeah.
It is module 8. There is module 9, which is kind of like putting it all together. Is more like procedures that we do when it comes to packaging everything and shipping to customer. So basically, these two modules are ahead of you. Module 8 is quite heavy. That's basically the longest one.
I saw, and I think this is the important one.
Yeah, regarding from what I think that was you who was mentioning that dialogue programming these screens and so on, like understanding like how that works, what's the flow of the programs and so on. Yeah, so this is regarding analyzing existing codes, a really important one, especially when you are dealing with ALVs. And with some object-oriented programming, I'm also explaining some of these things as well, so that you can see how to use, why they are using such kind of methods and so on. And so that's the heavy one. And the one the last module is kind of like packaging everything. So it's more like about procedures, what to do, what to not forget, how to really make sure when you are going to deliver something, it's not going to crash. You don't get some return codes like 8 and so on, like red lines. So these two things.
What I can propose maybe, and if you agree, let's see if this can work. So maybe if we can do the extension for the model number 8, and if there is any feasibility to maybe skip module 9, if this is the correct, but I understand this is just actually making sure that deployment will be correct. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, like my proposal would be just like one extension. Like I wouldn't really, you wouldn't really need to extend for more. Based on your speed, based on how you approach things, I don't think it would be needed more.
Okay.
So that would be my proposal.
Okay.
And like we will see like how much time like still you will have left for the last module, because you already have access to this training materials. So it's not going to be like, okay,
number 8,
you will not have this.
Okay. So okay, then what I need the invoice, and I will take it with my management then further.
Okay. What I would maybe propose, okay, so that's on my side. Like I will have to go to accountant to do that invoice. I will just write it down. What I would maybe, what I can do, so that you don't wait until the company processes everything. I'm even willing to continue with you so that you are done. And then we can just wait until they will be everything will be processed.
Let's little. I think we have now time, so you proceed with this invoice. I have the access to module 8. Module 8 is really a big one, so this would be the time when I reach to a point when I am able to start programming for module 8, and at that point most likely we will arrange that invoice. So yeah, your proposal is okay. I don't think that we should have any problems. I assume that I will need at least 3 weeks to complete the model 8 and to be able to start with implementation.
Yeah.
And during these 3 weeks, let's see, I guess I would be able to manage this invoice.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I expect as well. It's going to take some weeks. So yeah, either we can do it this way as you proposed, or in my case, like as I told you, like I'm even I'm even kind of open to do it this way, that if you don't want, like we can kind of continue without any interruption. So and then kind of like I take it that that's basically okay. I just don't want, if you don't want to have any pause or just break or whatever, we can continue as if that was.
Okay, let's continue and let's go step by step. So send an invoice. When once I will have an invoice, I can come to my management and return back to you then.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe till
That's
the
step by
end of
step.
this week, I should have that invoice.
Okay.
I will then send it to you, and then it's going to be up to you.
And let me just ask, I forgot to ask previously, once the module 9 is complete, then actually we are finished with this training, correct?
We are finished,
Mm-hmm.
or there is also an option. I'm like I leave this as an option to implement one like kind of like final project, like overall project where you
Mm-hmm.
will be
Mm-hmm.
used, where you will be using all of these things, kind of like mix of all these things.
Mm-hmm.
I leave it as an optional thing because
Mm-hmm.
you are a consultant. Like in the end, you
Mm-hmm.
also are keeping telling me that you will not be doing such kind of things from scratch. So
Mm-hmm.
so kind of maybe if there will still be some time
Mm-hmm.
that you want to spend with this, we can. But as I said, it's an optional thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
not really
Mm-hmm.
required for you
Yeah.
to go through this.
No, what I was considering to maybe take a look once we complete that and see for maybe next year what should be. I mean, I need to take a look what you're offering to see maybe to go into some specific topic more deeper as a kind of
Okay.
continuing
Like
continuation
next
of
steps.
this.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good what we did. Most likely we will. I will get this extension from my management to complete it. I don't think it would be a problem, but let's wait. Let's not jump too quickly. I don't want to make a promises that I cannot fulfill. I'm quite sure that it will be done, but
We are in a business. I know how these
of
things
course,
work. So yeah.
and I'm just thinking in advance, so I don't want to stop here. I would really like to see once we complete this what you are offering, and maybe now that you know me, maybe we can discuss to see the next steps. So I don't want to stop in this phase. Maybe
Okay.
there will be additional budget for me for next year. So let's see how we can utilize the open budget for my professional education at my company to utilize it as best as possible. So I will need
Yeah.
your help here. This is my thinking right now.
We can discuss that, or maybe
Mhm.
also I can. We have like
Later,
5 more minutes.
let's leave it for later,
Yeah,
of course.
let's leave it for later. I can
I
then
just want to
tell
see you
you.
my thinking
Yeah,
in advance. Yeah.
yeah. Let's leave it for later. Then
Mm-hmm.
I can then show you like what usually SAP consultants are like, which
Mm-hmm.
routes they are taking, and basically how. And you will
Okay.
see if it makes sense for you or not, because each and
Sure.
every consultant is individual, working on some other things. So
Let's focus now on this first part of
okay,
extension. Yeah.
okay, Krunoslav.
Yeah.
Anything else that comes to your mind?
No. No.
No.
Not now.
Okay. Okay. So if you will have any questions or anything, feel free to ask me. So
Mm-hmm.
so let's not to kind of like kind of cut this communication right now because there
Sure.
is no
Sure.
invoice or anything.
Sure.
My goal, like if it's going to take you a little bit kind of like longer, like 1 week or something, like let's leave it like with 1 month extension, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we will need to have more.
Mm-hmm.
And let's keep it like this.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine with me. So, and I really also like the communication with you, the
Mm-hmm.
way on how we communicate, the way on how you deliver, the way like your approach as well. Like it's also pleasure for me to work
Mm-hmm.
like this. So, and and when I see the results, like you already are able to use these things on your own project, that's basically the goal.
Yeah, that's the
So that's
goal.
what I
That's the goal.
makes my day in the end. So
Sure. Okay, we will be in contact.
let's be in touch.
I'm waiting for your invoice, and let's catch up
Okay.
during next week or two. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so
Perfect.
have a nice day and
Sure. You
yeah,
as
take
well.
care. Take care.
Okay. Bye.